बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन वस्सलातु वस्सलाम अला रसूलिल्लाहिल करीम अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बारकातुहू। Dear viewers, or rather the brothers and my sisters in Islam, this is my 8th or rather the 11th lecture in the series of the real incidents of Karbala. So today in this episode we will see why we consider Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu as the companion of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and whatever I am telling you, it is not from my pocket. This is what big muhaddiseen and the aima of the high stature have said this, and this is not said by the Maulvi of the 14th century or of the Khalaf. These are all said by the Salaf. Salaf are our scholars who were in the first 300 years. Salaf doesn't mean that everybody in that 300 years was a Salaf, but only the rightly guided and who were the scholars who propagated Islam are the Salaf. While after 300 years, even the Aima, even the big Imam of high stature are called as the Khalaf. So we are the Khalaf. After 300 years of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam of Hijrat are the Khalaf, and before 300 are the Salaf. So these whatever these views are, these are from the Salaf and not from the Khalaf. And these are the Aima who don't have any contradiction, or they are considered as Imam by the whole Ummah, not just a few people. Just like a Barelvi Imam is only revered by the Barelvis, and a Deobandi Imam is revered only by the Deobandis, and the Salfi Imam is revered only by the Salfis, and a Shia Imam is revered only by the Shia. So these are the Aimma who are revered by the whole Muslim Ummah. So coming on to whatever these people have said, coming on to first to Imam Hajar Asqalani, who died in 852 Hijri. He writes that Imam Bukhari mentioned the topic related to Muawiyah and Sahih Bukhari only the word Zikr Muawiyah, and did not mention the words of Fazila or Mankabat, because the fact that there is no Fazila in this hadith. So Imam Bukhari has, for Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan radiyallahu anhu, he has used the word only Zikr Muawiyah, because he didn't have any other fazilat apart from that in this hadith, about the hadith that which we went through yesterday, in which Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam called him thrice and he did not turn up. So in this about this hadith, Imam Bukhari said that it is only a zikr of Muawiyah and not of fazilat or manqabat. But the saying of Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu is that Muawiyah was a faqih and a sahabi is sufficient for his virtues. Minister of, or rather the main advisor of Sayyidina Ali, Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu, he is saying that he was a faqih and he was a sahabi. Your opponent calls you a rich man and an intelligent man or a wise man, then it should be taken as such. So Abdullah ibn Abbas was in the another group. He was the staunch enemy of Muawiyah, and Muawiyah was the staunch enemy of Abdullah ibn Abbas. So if your enemy is saying that he is a faqih and he is a sahabi, then this fellow should be considered as a sahabi, Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu. However, Imam Ibn Abi Asim rahmatullah alayh has written a magazine in the Manaqib of Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu. The same work has been done by Abu Umar Ghulam Salabi and Abu Bakr Naqash, and Imam Ibn Jawzi rahmatullah alayh has also quoted this statement of Ishaq bin Rahawayh describing some traditions in Manqabat, the famous book which identifies the fabricated narrations. So there are a lot of fabricated narrations regarding the fazila of Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu, which are totally false, and we will come to know why people have elevated Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu. Some sects, presently also the Nazbis, the people who revile Ali radiyallahu anhu, and they hurl abuses on Ali radiyallahu anhu, and they hate the Ahle Bayt, and they consider themselves to be the followers of Ahl Sunnat wal Jamaat. So these people, they revile Hazrat Ali. So these are the people who have concocted stories about Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu which are totally false and baseless. So Ishaq bin Rahawayh, with his deep understanding, he deducted the ruling to prove that Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu was a companion, due to which he hates the Rawafis, gets down. So the Rafizis who revile nowadays, initially when the Banu Umayyah was in the power, they used to revile Hazrat Ali. They used to hurl abuses on Hazrat Ali from the Mimbar-e-Rasul. But now what happens that after that their bad thing has been taken up by Rawafis, which the most of the, so these people, they hurl abuses on Hazrat Muawiyah, which is totally wrong. It should not be done. He is a Sahabi of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We don't have that big mouth to open our tongues and open our lips to abuse him. So it should not be done. So this is what Ishaq bin Rahawayh rahmatullah alayh, the teacher of Imam Bukhari, has said. And same has been said by Imam Hakim, Imam Ibn Jawzi, and Imam Ibn Jawzi has quoted from Abdullah bin Ahmad, that is, he is the son of Hazrat Imam. He is saying that he once asked his father, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, what is your opinion regarding the differences between Sayyidina Ali bin Abi Talib and Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan? So he was asked by his son, and he has written in his book Fadail-e-Sahaba. So his father said to him, my son, understand very well that Sayyidina Ali bin Abi Talib had a lot of enemies who tried to find fault with him, but they failed. Then they, as an alternative trick, found a man, Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu, suitable for this purpose, who has fought against him. Since he has fought against him, so they thought it very well that if we will raise, or rather start to give fazila to this person, then people will understand, and it would be very easy for them to for them to accept our view. So they started using false fazila for Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan in order to downgrade Ali bin Abi Talib. So they praised Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu with exaggeration in comparison to Sayyidina Ibn Ali, and this is happening nowadays also in a lot of quarters of Ahl Sunnat wal Jamaat. I don't want to name those sects, but from Ahl Sunnat wal Jamaat, none of the sects is pak from such a fitna. During Muharram, either you should tell the fazila of Muharram, which is very important. But what they do, they started telling the fazila of Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan. What is the need of telling that? And this is no way to counter the fitna of the Rawafis, the Tufan-e Badtamizi that happens in Ramzan, the chest thumping, the Marsiya and those Matam and all those nonsense that happens. So you cannot counter a nonsense with a bigger nonsense. So it should not be done. Imam Ibn Hajar Asqalani writes that there is a clue in the reply of Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahmatullah alayh that some people have fabricated some baseless virtues of Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu which have no authenticity. This is what I told, that in order to give fazila to Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan radiyallahu anhu, they concocted fabricated stories, Maudu Hadith. No doubt there are many narrations in the glory of Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu, but none of these narrations are authentic in the terms of the chain on the principle of the Muhaddithin. So as we know, when we are not considering the hadith which is reaching to us with an authentic chain or with an authentic matan, which are purported to be from Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then how can we accept anything who is of a lower degree than him? And everybody is of a lower degree than him. So the thing is of authenticity. So if anything is not authentic, then we are not supposed to accept it. And most of the ahadith regarding the fazila of Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu are fabricated. So much so that Imam Bukhari has only used the term Zikr Muawiyah in his chapter of companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He did not use the term fazila or mankabat. No doubt there are many narrations in the glory of Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan, but none of these narrations are authentic in terms of chain. Therefore, Imam Ishaq bin Rahawayh and Imam Nasai have adopted this view with great confidence. So they say that majority of the ahadith of Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan radiyallahu anhu are concocted and fabricated, and they are maudu, and there are some fazila which are with us, that he was a Katib-e Wahi, but the thing is that he was not the only Katib-e Wahi. There are more Katib-e Wahi, around 60 to 70. And another fazila, what they do, they start saying that he is the he is the uncle of the Ummah. How can he be uncle of the Ummah? No doubt he is the uncle of the Ummah, because his sister was married to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But the thing is that he was not the only one. Abdullah ibn Umar was there, and there were so many others. There are 70 or 80 other people who were brothers of the wives of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they can also be mamu. But what they have done, they have singled out Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan radiyallahu anhu. So this is totally nonsense. So just to finish this, because this is a controversial topic, a lot of people will have tenesmus in their stomachs. So the thing is that I am not talking from my pocket. This is the narrations from the Aima of the Salaf, Imam Nisai, Imam Bukhari, Imam Hakim, Imam Rahawayh. So to sum it all, there are fazila of Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan radiyallahu anhu, but they are not of that degree which are floating around, which are in the cloud, and they are not the real. We should take steps to see what is the real and what is the falsehood. Wallahu alam. Jazakumullahu khair. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa nastaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik, wa ma alaina illa al balagul mubin. Jazakumullahu khair.